Hey everybody, Steve here, and welcome to the AFR Monday Night Double Play for April 18th, 2016. Alright, so I had last week off on the show here, but back at it here for another Monday night, and I thought I would focus this episode on my recent season-long project that I just finished last night with my first live event here on the channel, finishing up the 2015 fictional Boston Minutemen football season that unfortunately fell just one game short of them bringing home the coveted Avalon Cup, which coincidentally arrived in the mail today. And so this is one of the really fantastic things that I love about Play.com and Keith Avalon is that if you do any kind of project with one of his games and you can just send him an email with a write-up, you can post about it on the forums, or you can talk about it on your YouTube channel if you have one, and then he'll send you a cup commemorating the culmination of your project. So it's just one of those nice little touches that I really enjoy about the Play.com community that Keith has created. And he even keeps track of all of the cups that he sent out over on the Play.com page, and I'll post a link to that below so you guys can check that out. So for anybody that hasn't seen my first live event yet, I'll post a link to it right up here. You can check it out. It ran about a couple hours. There were a few technical snafus in there, getting the sound right, and I was gonna try to switch between two cameras, but I ended up just using the webcam on my computer, and overall I think it went pretty well. I had a few people who stayed and watched the whole thing live, so that was really great, left comments in the chat box, so thank you again to everybody who did that. That was really great, and it's given me some confidence to do another live event shortly here in the future. And so I guess I'll put a spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't watched yet, because I'm about to talk about what happened in that game. So at the end of the game, we fell just short. It was 33-26 was the final, and it was one of those things where everything that could go wrong in the first half went wrong. We lost our starting quarterback, Tulumaselli, who had been out for 4 weeks before and had finally just come back. He was off to a really good start, and then we lost him to another injury. So our backup quarterback, who was just signed 3 weeks ago, came on in relief and had we'll say a below average rest of the first half, and even threw a pick that turned into another 3 points for Golden Bay. And on the other side of the coin, everything seemed to just fall into Golden Bay's lap. They recovered a fumble off of Boston's opening drive, went down for an easy score, and it seemed like the whole first half they had great field position every time they got the ball, and at the end of the half they were ahead 31-10, and so it looked like it was going to be a yawner. And then just like that, the karma flipped and everything went Boston's way, and they managed to chip it down to a 31-26 lead late in the fourth quarter, and they were on their way down the field trying to get that tying score, stalled at midfield and had a 4th and long, and instead of trying to go for it, they tried to do a coffin kick to pin them deep, and then they still had all 3 timeouts, and their defense had finally started to click, and unfortunately Golden Bay was able to pick up a couple key first downs and then wind down the clock by kneeling it out and seal the victory. So it was sort of a bittersweet culmination to my season-long project. This was the first time that I had played a full season with that fictional Football America set, and I'm obviously completely hooked on it, and I'm already looking forward to seeing what happens in the 2016 set, which is due to come out later this summer. It usually gets released at the same time as the Pro set that comes out. So if you guys want to leave any comments about the game, it'd be neat to hear everybody's thoughts on what happened. If you watched it live, let me know your thoughts here on what you liked, what you didn't like, what I could maybe do better next time on a live event. And as for my next game or my next project, I'm going to get back into my red, white, and blue 2015 season with the fictional Scram set. I was about, I want to say 8 races into that, something like that, 7, 8 races. So I'm going to finish that season because I actually already have another season in the queue for that game. The 2016 Scram set has already been released earlier this year. So I'm looking to get caught up at least to the current year. So I'll be getting back into that, and I'll share the results of the next race with you on next week's show. And now it's time for the question of the week. So sticking with the theme here, I just wanted to ask everybody, how soon after you finish a project, whether it's a season-long project, whether it's a tournament, do you wait to jump right into your next tabletop project? So as for myself, I don't really have any tried and true method to this, and the reason I'm just jumping right into my next project is because it was already something that I had in progress, so I don't have to go through setting it up or anything. But usually I do take at least a few days before I jump into another project. So I'm just curious what your guys' thoughts are on if you take a little vacation from playing, if you just do a couple one-off games before you dive right into another season-long project, or whether you just turn the page and then dive right in. I'll highlight some of the comments on next week's show. All right, everybody, that is all for now. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Steve, and until next time, get out there, have fun, play games, and I'll see you after further review.